Joining us now is House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. I should offer you congratulations, sir. What do you think the difference is between where President Trump and the House Republicans started last January, in a relationship that seemed fairly tense, and then going through all of the seasons to, at the end of the year, actually being able to celebrate this victory today?
Well, you know, we've been working very closely with President Trump throughout this process. You know, he made it very clear from the beginning he wants to make sure that middle-class families see real tax relief, and under this bill, they will get it in a big way. You're going to see the economy take off like nothing we've seen in a generation. You're already seeing the stock market respond positively just on the assumption that the bill would have gotten passed. Now that it is passed, and then the president will sign it shortly, you're going to see companies hire. You're going to see wages go up. You're going to see economic growth, which equates to more jobs and more money in the pockets of families. And they know how to spend it a lot better than a lot of these liberal Washington elites that are just so upset right now that we passed a bill that cuts taxes for working families.
I know that you all were under a lot of pressure from companies that wanted this corporate tax rate cut, which this is not something that a lot of Democrats wanted and understood that the corporate tax rate was just not right and making us very uncompetitive throughout the world. But if those benefits in terms of job growth or wage increases don't come, will you put pressure back on them, those corporations who are going to benefit from this?
Well, first of all, if you believe in economic growth and if you believe in free markets and you believe in the kind of economy that we're seeing already take off, you're going to see a lot of those companies bring those jobs back to America. But you know this real well, Dana, because America has the highest corporate tax rate in the industrialized world, it's literally killed jobs where we would see big company after big company move thousands of good jobs out of the country just for that reason. We end that in this bill. We actually cut the rate down to where we can be the leader of the world again. And then you're going to see new manufacturing plants be built in America instead of being built in foreign countries. And that means really good jobs for people. And people get that. People see these companies moving jobs overseas, and they knew why, and they were calling on Congress to fix it. Democrats tried to stand in the way, but we weren't going to be denied that opportunity for those families that want these jobs. We passed the bill, and it's going to be really good for the economy and really good for middle-class families.
I know there were 12 Republicans who voted no on the bill. These are House Republicans, mostly in states where they think their constituents will see tax increases, or they're just not happy with the bill. So Democrats feel like they've got the wind at their back. They think there's a wave election coming. And I actually heard somebody say to me this morning that they think it's possible that those 12 seats are actually quite vulnerable for Republicans, and they're going to target them, and that gets them halfway to taking back the majority. What do you think of that?
Well, they've been saying that for the last 3 cycles. We know it's going to be a tough election next year, but the good news is we've got a great bill that's going to really jolt the economy. And when people see their paychecks going up, when people see unemployment dropping and people going back to work, that's going to be something that the Democrats opposed every step of the way. And if you just look at Obamacare, you know, they lost their majority in part because of Obamacare, because they raised taxes on family and they had more government control telling you what you can or can't buy and what you have to buy. In our bill, we actually go back to free markets. We cut taxes. We go in the opposite direction. And that's what families have been calling for years, saying, look, just get the economy back on track so that we have confidence that we can maybe go and buy a new home, or we can add on or put more money in our college savings account for our kids. They're going to be able to do that now with real money in their pockets because we're getting Washington out of their way and making our country competitive again. That's what people want, and we're going to benefit from that because we delivered something important for the American people.
I know the Senate can frustrate the House because it's slower, but it is amazing to me, having worked on energy issues back in my previous life for so long, to see ANWR being opened up in this bill absolutely blows me away. And the president talking about it in the cabinet meeting and not being afraid of the kind of backlash that he'll get in the media or from environmental groups. Before I let you go, can I ask you about the spending bill? Because there's no rest for the weary. You're going to have to start counting votes on how you're going to keep the government funded. I think it's true that nobody really wants a government shutdown, but you have people like Chairman Mac Thornberry saying he doesn't want a short-term measure. He wants to get our military funded. How are you guys going to work this out?
We're already working on that, and of course Chairman Thornberry, the Speaker's been talking to a lot of his members. We've all been talking to the members of our conference that want to make sure we get something done to get our job done before we leave, and it also includes the supplemental spending bill for all of those states affected by hurricanes and wildfires. So we're going to get all of that done. You had mentioned ANWR, Section 1002 of ANWR, which gets opened up under this bill. It's like Prudhoe Bay. I mean, you don't see caribou running around with people try to pursue it as. It's a lot of rich reserves that we can actually go and explore for more American energy. President Trump had it right. This is going to be about energy dominance, where we can finally stop relying on countries that don't like us. We can become energy independent and actually export to other countries and make more money, create more jobs in America. So that's what this bill was about. It's about creating jobs and getting the economy back on track. And I'm proud that we were able to get it passed, and President Trump's going to sign it. And look, he's been a champion of this from the very beginning. This is going to be a big win for the president that he will deliver to the American people for Christmas.